One single person can make a difference, and that person is you. You can spark change for the ocean. We need passionate people who care about our planet, because it will take all of us to make things better. There is a growing community of explorers and adventurers coming together. A community that cares deeply about healing the planet above and below the surface. Together, we are turning passion into purpose to protect what we love. We're a community of torchbearers, sparking change for the ocean and inspiring others to follow our light. Your light will make us stronger and our future brighter. Spark change for the ocean. Be a torchbearer.
Good Monday evening, everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Safety Stop right here on the Pennyroyal Divers Group and our YouTube channel. And JoJo, would you believe it? It's 8 o'clock. We actually got started on time.
On time, yeah. I was like, did he actually get the math right on this one?
Yeah, well, I was shooting to get the math right. Anyway, long story short, usually, we start the stuff right at 8 o'clock. I'm like, you know what? Let's see if we can't time it to be on at 8 o'clock. So, it worked out. Let's see.
It did.
Looks like John Land's watching from Utila. Good evening, Mr. John. Dad was here. It's like one of those things you used to hear in school when they'd hand you out the textbooks at the very end, like, I was here, now I'm gone, I leave my name to carry on.
I remember those books.
I do too.
Around.
And it looks like Mr. Slowpoke Howard is in the room. Good evening, sir. Man, I tell you what, I'm exhausted. I had a very... Huh?
I heard you had a busy weekend.
Well, yeah, it was busy. It was long, but well worth it. It was. Well, I don't know how things went really at the park. I can't really, comment on that because I was rarely around. I was actually upstairs in the classroom learning or attempting to learn. No, I was learning. But yeah, I mean, it was a long 4 days. Very informative though, and if if you haven't had the opportunity to take a class like I did with an awesome instructor, I have to give him props. The man knows his stuff. For you guys who don't know, I completed the PCI instructor course over the last 4 days, and so now I am able to teach the visual inspectors and O2 cleaning, valve repair technician, all that stuff. I'm able to teach now, and so yeah, and like I said, it was a very, very good course. Mark made it fun. Of course, luckily enough, I had the owner and president of PSI as the instructor. So, which was really great because, like I said, he's very knowledgeable. I learned things that I had no clue about. So very awesome class. I look forward to imparting that experience with future inspectors. I'll say future student inspectors. So yeah, it was a long weekend.
Yeah. Our ears will be open when you're teaching.
Well, and like I said, it's we went through initially the inspector course through PSI, several years ago, and the instructor who taught it is no longer teaching and kind of left a void. So it was like, okay, we don't have anybody close by. Let's go ahead and do this. So the interesting part, though, is that it's an application process to be an instructor for PSI. So it's not just pay them money and get certified. You have to be selected. And I don't know who all they talked to about me, but I appreciate everyone, and the kind words they gave them because, they called me up and said, you've come highly recommended. Are you still interested in this class? And, I said, yeah.
So who was the references you gave?
Well, I know who I put on the application, but apparently they had heard from other people. I guess he just told me I came very highly recommended. So I don't know who highly recommend, but I really do appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, and that, I was thinking about it just before we came on. I think if I could extend an invite to have Mark join us on Monday Night Safety Stop, just talking about cylinder safety and stuff like that. I mean, he's a very busy guy, so I don't know when he would have time or whatnot, but yeah, I think it would be beneficial, especially. Just some of the little tips and tricks that he imparted during the class was awesome. So, looks like Mike Schutz is in here. He says, I'm listening. Slowpoke, phone call, BRB. And Mr. Todd Ransford. Good evening, Mr. Todd. So how was your weekend, JoJo?
I worked Saturday.
The dreaded W word.
Yeah, luckily we're done. Kick that project to the curb.
You still got to drive back and forth though, right?
Well, I'll be about an hour closer to home now.
Oh,
next week.
Okay. Well, good deal. That means you won't be rushing to Monday Night Safety Stop, right?
Yeah. Like you put on the camera, my yellow shirt's still on, and I've disappeared in the screen.
As long as your eyes don't develop holes and we can see straight through you, we'll be okay. So JoJo, do you wanna lay out tonight's interesting trivia question?
Oh, how do we put it?
All right. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to put it up here on the screen for you. Ready? 1, 2, 3,
All right.
and there it is.
There. What was the loudest ocean sound ever recorded?
Ooh, that's a
Loud.
good one.
Yeah.
Now, when we say loudest ocean sound, we are talking about underwater. So remember, how many times faster does sound travel underwater, JoJo?
3 times faster.
How many times?
3 times faster, if I remember right.
Uh-oh. We're going to have to re-educate. You're close. You're close. It's roughly 4 to 4.5 times faster. So yeah. So what is the loudest ocean sound ever recorded? Throw your answers in the comment. And it looks like Emily has already jumped all over this one and said humpback whale. So we're going to give you a little bit. We're going to give you a little bit to throw your answers up there in the comments. Yeah, I mean, it's only we got started on time. That's the cool thing. So it's like 8 after. So yeah, here in about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, we'll go to we'll give you the answer. But until then,
like an extra 15 minutes. We have like an extra 15 minutes.
Well, sometimes we like to run over a little bit, so it's like, okay, maybe we'll get close to time. Emily says humpback whale. All right, so Emily's the first one. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Jeff Hoyer is in the room. Good evening, sir. Volcanic eruption on Indonesian island Krakatoa.
Krakatoa, I guess.
Krakatoa. I hope I didn't butcher that too much. We're getting, that's pretty good guesses there. Humpback whale, volcanic eruption. So, loudest sound ever recorded. Go ahead, JoJo.
Nemo.
We got 2 for underwater volcano eruption. So
That could be pretty loud.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming.
Never been around a volcano, don't know what it sounds like either. So
no, I haven't either. Let's see. Let's throw an easy. I say an easy hint, but let's throw a hint out there. If I remember what you said was correct, I believe that this sound was picked up over 3,000 miles away.
3,000 miles.
So this sound was picked up over 3,000 miles away. We might throw out another hint here in about 15 minutes, just to see if our volcanic eruption folks are correct or not, or if Emily's correct. I wished I had a tally board I could put up here. Volcanic eruption. Humpback whale. So. But
so
anyway,
I got a date.
Huh?
So I got a date and a name.
A date and a name. Yeah. So JoJo, have you been keeping up with the new water temperature feature on the website?
Oh, you know what? I actually got the website up right now looking at it.
It's pretty interesting, guys. This thing, I think we've had it in the water. I know it's been over a month. Of course, the website data only shows, I think, the last 5 days. All right, put number 3 for volcanic eruption, and then we have nuclear bomb, Mr. John Land. So, I mean, these are good guesses. I mean, really, they are. Let's see here. Where was I? Oh, let me get back here real quick. Anyway, I was talking about the temperature feature, and like I said, it's been in just a little over a month. I did happen to sneak in or sneak on the website during one of my breaks in the class on Saturday. Saturday was a beautiful day. I mean, it was nice and warm, and it was a nice day. And when I looked at the temperatures, it was showing 66 on the surface. I just pulled it up, and JoJo can verify this. I'm showing 63 right now.
Yep, that's what I got.
Yeah, but the cool thing is that if you click on the bottom of it where it says View Graphs, this is the part that I find really interesting because it will graph, each level, the surface, 10 foot, 20 foot, et cetera, et cetera. But, I'm looking at the surface from Wednesday, so April the 12th, and it goes all the way to, current time. And it's just interesting. The surface, you can tell what daytime is and what nighttime is when the air temperature is cool, because the surface cools down and then it warms back up. But the interesting thing is the temperature at 10 foot, at 20 foot, and you can see it slightly in 30 foot, 40 foot, 50 foot, 60 foot, 70 or 80 foot. You don't really see it as much. But folks, let me tell you, 10 foot, 20 foot, 30 foot are definitely telling us the water is warming up. I mean,
it's coming.
Huh?
It's coming.
Oh, yeah. So,
well, we hit 50 degrees soon.
Yeah. So, I'm showing on April the 12th, 10 foot was 59 degrees right on the dot. And as of today, 5 days later, it's 60 degrees, almost 61, so 60.9. So it's come up a degree in 5 days, and that's pretty typical. So it's warming up. It's time to get that gear to your local dive shop, get it serviced if it's time for it, get those cylinders inspected, get all that stuff, get your gear ready, because season's coming. Season's already here.
yeah. I got a regulator that needs serviced.
I hear you. All right, Mr. Todd Ransford says iceberg cracking and breaking away from glacier. Tim said he wanted to go with nuclear test, but going to go with 9.0 earthquake on March the 11th of 2011 in Japan. Okay, these are awesome guesses. I mean, yeah, great guesses. Keep them coming in. Huh?
Definitely going to take something big.
Yeah, we know it's going to be something big, like huge. To be able to be picked up 3,000 miles away. I mean, yeah, sound travels, 4 to 4.5 times faster underwater. So, yeah, and I would be interested once, we reveal the answer to this question, where this happened and where the sound was recorded at, just to see, that would be something interesting. Maybe I'm just weird that way. I don't know. Jeff says the bloop.
The bloop.
The bloop. So we've got bloop, earthquake, nuclear test, iceberg cracking, nuclear bomb, volcanic eruptions, and humpback whale.
I wonder what the output would be on those humpback whales, to tell you the truth.
I don't know.
It'd be pretty loud.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, well, it's, the most I've ever heard a humpback whale, I think, was in Star Trek 4 or 5, whatever it was, when they had to go back in the 80s, from the future back to the 80s to rescue 2 humpback whales because they were extinct. Sorry, that was my best William Shatner impression.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe, dolphins flying away.
I thought we was a scuba related show. Mr. Chad Shangral has checked in. Good evening, sir. Jeff says recorded in the 90s. So the bloop recorded in the 90s. Okay. Whales 25 to 30 miles. Well, I mean, I could see, whales being heard that far away. I mean, I really could.
I mean, heck, you don't know where the boat's coming from when you hear one.
Well, that's true. That is true. Whales 25 to 30 miles away. So, yeah, and I think we've got a few more folks that just joined in here. So let me throw the question up, give them an opportunity to partake in tonight's, brain stumper here, because we're getting a lot of good answers. I'm going to go ahead. Oh,
There's gone.
there we go. All right. So, sorry, I hit the wrong button. Right here above us, what's the loudest ocean sound ever recorded? So, for you folks who are just joining us, this is tonight's question. What was the loudest ocean sound ever recorded? This was underwater. So, and we've given one clue away of it was picked up over 3,000 miles away. So, Jeff,
Wasn't it just a few?
Huh?
But
I was going to say, Jeff comment, humpback whales produce between 100 and 900 hertz. Okay. I didn't know that. Let's see.
Wasn't there like a few years ago when a couple divers got to experience an earthquake underwater?
I remember seeing something about that. I don't. You have to forgive me because my brain is still mush from this weekend. But I remember seeing something about it, but I can't recall it.
They could feel the vibrations to the water. It was, I think, making their eardrums pulsate back and forth. It was apparently a really weird feeling.
I bet. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's a whole lot of energy. So. Let's see. Mr. Tim Walter said 2 weeks ago heard whales very close in the DR, but no sightings. So, yeah, I mean, you can hear whales, a good distance away. And we have to remember, again, 4.5 times faster underwater. So, Mr. Frank Winstead's in the room. Good evening, sir. He is going with bomb test. So, Mr. J. Hagerman says bloop from iceberg breaking off in the 90s. So there's 2 for iceberg in the 90s. So I think we're up to 2 icebergs or 3 icebergs, 2 or 3 volcanics. We got a lot of good answers tonight.
Well, if it's an atomic bomb, I don't know which one.
Yeah.
Because the Russians let off a lot of them. So did we. Then go to the atoll, the most nuclear bomb spot.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Who's ready for a dive trip to the atolls?
Hey. Let's see. I like that one. That's a good one, Todd. Chris blowing his top when they got his order wrong at Blenny's. Well, I don't think it was necessarily the order wrong. I think it's when they failed to bring my food to me and about half of the group, and everybody else was done eating, done had seconds before we even got ours. So, yeah, I think that one, Todd.
Don't go to that place ever. I was done with it after the first night. We kept going back.
Well, and I'm not. If you're just going, if you just got you and a couple of dive buddies, it's probably awesome. I mean, honestly. But when
I sat there at the bar for an hour waiting for a drink.
Yeah, well, I said probably. I didn't say it was. But anyway, yeah. So I won't take another group there just because I just don't think they can handle groups. But. That's my personal opinion. Still a good guess there. We're going to put it on the board. Make sure you record that one down, JoJo. That's a good one right there.
Chris blowing his top.
So it's actually a toss up on that one of that instance or the JoJo was there in Roatan. You remember that one? You were still underwater. Yeah, I'm not going to get into any specifics or anything, but you were there. You was underwater. I was already back on the boat. So actually, I think I had secluded myself up to the front of the boat because I was not happy.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was trouble all week.
Oh yeah. Well, and everybody who knows me, they don't see that very often because I don't. But when you hit it just right, it's kind of like hitting. You guys remember the Goonies from the '80s, all right? So when they're down there and they're at this skeleton organ and they hit the wrong tone and it like the floor drops out. Yeah, you just have to hit the wrong one just right. You probably don't remember that movie, JoJo.
Goonies. I've watched the Goonies.
Well, I didn't say you hadn't watched it, but I remember going to the theater and seeing it. Okay, so.
And I didn't go to the theater and saw it because I don't VHS. How's that?
There you go. But anyway, all right, Mr. Jeff Hoyer has chimed in and said, is there going to be food again on the weekends? So, yes, actually, I spoke with Cowboy today, matter of fact, on that exact subject. And, of course, the regular time is Memorial Day to Labor Day. But I think he went a little over Labor Day last year. I think he was there the whole month of September and part of October. Actually,
yeah.
I think he was there most all of October. But
good food for the Halloween hunt.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But yes, he is going to be there. We're going to be putting out. I'll go ahead and let you guys know. He's going to be there starting May 13th weekend. So a couple of weekends before Memorial Day, he told me he's probably going to have a little bit of a limited menu those first couple of weekends, but the full menu would be available starting Memorial Day. So yes, Jeff, he is going to be there with the diver dog, the master diver dog, the awesome pulled pork sandwiches. I'm hoping to get him to do some briskets this year. I like him brisket sandwiches.
Yeah. I go to a barbecue spot. You spend $20 just on a brisket sandwich. So.
Oh yeah.
I think you can make.
Yeah. All right. So Mr. Tim Walters has said, I'm changing my guess at the risk of not winning. The sound of divers descending from the new dive entrance at Pennyroyal. Well, now it depends. What do you mean by new entrance? Are you talking about the new dock? I mean, it's only new entrance. I mean, we haven't put a new entrance in. Let's see. Mr. Jeff gives us a thumbs up. Hey, I'm ready for some cowboy barbecue. Let me tell you. We had the pleasure when we was working on the new dock. Cowboy come up and said, "Hey, I got something for you. Just come pick it up." So went down there, picked it up, and he had a whole Boston butt. I mean, he hadn't even pulled it, and he's like, "Here you go." I mean, we dug in. So.
Oh yeah, we had a good lunch that day. Probably pretty productive weekend.
Let's see. Mr. John is asking, what is the loudest underwater noise at Blue Springs? I heard that. I'm not going to say it, but I heard that. Let's see. All right. I'm going to take that off the screen for just a second. I don't know. I mean, I know a couple of years ago, we had some divers report like a loud noise underwater, but there was like nothing on the surface. You remember that, JoJo?
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was last year.
Thuds when we've had large rocks fall off the wall.
Yeah, but I'm going to say this was last year or maybe the year before. But I mean, we had divers come up and said, "Hey, what happened?" Well, what do you mean, what happened? There was a loud boom underwater. I'm like, there's not been any loud booms up here. I mean,
I think they might have heard my dive computer beeping for about 3 weeks before it died.
Was that last year or year before last?
A couple years ago now.
Oh, let's see. Oh, Chris. So Dad just brought up the Chris went off in Cozumel. Yeah. That I did. I pulled the
Or
instructor
bad
card.
diver etiquette.
No, actually, poor dive master, dive professional etiquette.
Oh,
Yeah. So yeah, I won't call the name of the operator, but anyway, they had. I'll make this short and sweet. We were on the boat. We were staying at a little hotel called Hotel Barracuda. Anyway, so I don't know if it was the first or second day of diving, me and a couple others decided to hit the triple digit mark. Drop down, come back up. No big deal. Well, I got chewed pretty hard by the dive master, which the dive master didn't know I was an instructor. I mean, okay, I get it. I took my chewing and went on. But from that day to the last day, under my Lycra suit, I had my instructor card right here. So anytime I was in the water, my instructor cert card was sitting right here where my BC kept it in place. So ended up the last dive, the dive master who was leading, we only had one, actually left and surfaced and did not signal the rest of the group. Me and a couple of other instructors from our group, and there was three. There was a girl and two guys. I don't know. Anyway, they were young. I don't even know if they were certified. Not my job. But anyway, Jeff looks at me. We're trying to find the dive master. Jeff looks at me and gives me like, what do we do? It's like, we were getting close to the end of the dive, so I just said, let's just gather them up, go up. And yeah, Dad can attest to that one. I kind of went off on the same dive master who chewed me, so just payback. I just had to bide my time. Like, it's not my job. I'm not getting paid to lead these. Here's my card, by the way. You suck as a dive master. And if I could have said it in Spanish, he'd have probably understood me a whole lot better. Let me get back to the comments here real quick. Tim says the platform. Okay, so the new dock. Let me tell you, everybody's loving the new dock. Everybody who's been on it, everybody's loving it. New divers seeing Penny on a first night dive or on a night dive for the first time. Yeah, I'm sure there's been a few. Well, and that's been the biggest thing because we're getting ready to hopefully get her teeth in and get her back in the water. And so I've had tons of people ask, well, where are you guys putting her? Where are you guys putting her? You need to mark her. No, I think it's a good surprise. I mean, where's the shock value?
We had a lot of fun when we just put her in. Didn't tell even what she was.
Oh,
yeah. Some people figured it out, and then when you found her, it was like, oh crap.
I forget. I think Brian was it week before last when So when you were having to work night shift week before last, after me and Brian got done with the show, we were going over some aerial video that he had shot. I think last year, maybe in the year before. Yeah, year before. But everybody knows Penny was in like 23, 24 feet of water. But on the video that he had, the water was so clear, you could actually see her. He's in the air, probably 75, 80 feet above the surface. And, I mean, you can see this great white silhouette, just perfect. And I'm like, ooh, that looks good. Let's see. Looks like Mr. Sean Quarles is in the room. No, never marker. Yeah, we have no plans of doing that. Let's see here. My comments are going a little fast here. All right, let's see. can you say what depth? I think we could. We could. I think we could give the depth out. Yeah. She's going to be a little bit deeper than what she was in the 35 to 40 foot range. So we'll be below the thermocline just to help some of the new folks not be tempted to ride on her and all of that. So yeah. So that's about the range we're going to put her in. Mr. Todd says, "Are you going to have the 3 treasure chests again?" We still have them. I haven't had a whole lot of time to think if we're going to be able to put them back in the water or not. The hardest part's getting people to jump in and go hide them. JoJo's not there every weekend. I know he'd do it.
Oh yeah. Oh, you need to strap on a tang. I just go do some free diving, put those suckers in.
I mean, that was a pretty cool little thing. I mean, I was thinking about that the other day as far as doing the treasure chest.
I think staff will be more than happy to hire if we get more interest in it.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. Well, Mr. Brian Schmidt asked, "What is Penny?" Sorry, I missed it. So, Penny is our resident great white shark. If you don't know the history behind Penny, Penny was donated, and Mr. Sean is here by his dive shop, Music City Scuba, 4 years ago. It's in 19, so it was pre-pandemic. But she is a 20-foot great white shark replica, fiberglass. I mean, she's pretty cool. Her history, I'm not going to go into the history, but you know, she's pretty interesting, and especially when you see her underwater. Well, when she gets back in the water, she's actually going to have teeth, so you have to beware of the teeth. Yeah, so that's what Penny is. She's kind of our mascot. Like I said, 20-foot great white replica. So pretty interesting to see underwater, especially if you're not expecting to see it. It makes you think, wait a minute, this is freshwater. Sharks aren't in freshwater. So little thinking feature there. Let's see, Sean. As her daddy, I request never mark her. She should be able to free roam. I wish we could put like a trolling motor or something in her remote control and just let her.
I can probably hook up some sensors so we can borrow. I think Brian's got a couple extra scooters laying around we can take.
Probably do it like what
batteries every few weeks, and
pull the guts out of a Roomba or like the self-propelled lawnmowers. Watertight. Make them watertight, and yeah, there you go. Let's see, Tim, a Pesta Como Dive Master. Okay, I've got a. Okay, I had to hit the translation on it. Funny. Let's see. What's your last name? Missed you the last couple of weekends. Yeah, I did see you this weekend, but let's see. All right, I got to catch up with my comments here. I don't know if JoJo is able.
That kind of, you got what's your last name?
Yeah, I started getting into them, and it was yeah. So every time I talk a little bit about one, there's 2 or 3 more pop up. So I'm going to try to catch up as quick as I can. Sean says, "I'll shoot you another intro for the chest in July." So yeah, I think that would be awesome. Get an updated one. Brian says, "Cool. I think we saw it last summer." If you was there last summer, she was actually on the shore because we have completely repainted her, and we're getting ready to install the teeth and all of that, and then the final finishing coat. The clear coat's going to go on, and then she's going back in the water. So there's a very good chance if you was there last year, you walked right past her.
Mm-hmm. Looks completely different now.
Oh yeah. Well, and Sean actually Sean posted the YouTube video that he shot I guess when we put her in, Sean, you can elaborate if you want to. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But he put together a fantastic video of them bringing her in, us doing the sinking and all of that. So pretty cool video. If you haven't had a chance to see it, he has listed a link in the comments there. So, check it out. It's a good, it shows Penny, when we first got her. So, Tim says Penny's going to look awesome in black and white. Yeah, most definitely. Sean, let's see. If you ever use yellow barrels, lime, and jaw. Okay. Tim says, Chris, that's the clean version. See, my Spanish is not very fluent. I mean, I know just enough to get me in trouble. Like cerveza and cerveza por favor. I know that. Looks like Mr. Matt Hollifield's in the room. Good evening, sir. Sean says he'll be up to visit her in June, so I know he's getting ready to head back to the USVI, so I think in July. So look forward to that, and we may have to do a remake of putting her back in the water, Sean. Oh, goodness. All right. So we've had several awesome guesses. I mean, the guesses you guys have thrown out there have been awesome. So let's throw this up. We've got about, let's say 5 minutes, and we'll let JoJo reveal the answer to tonight's trivia question. And it's popped up right here above me. What was the loudest ocean sound ever recorded underwater? So if you haven't guessed and you want to guess, go ahead and throw your guess in the comment box. I think JoJo's keeping score over there.
Was I supposed to?
I tell you what, we've had a lot of good guesses from, volcanic, nuclear explosion, humpback whales, icebergs. We've had some, me blowing my top.
All I can hear is just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Exactly. Sean says she was a job to sink. Almost got stuck under the fire truck tying her down. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick little history on Penny. If you haven't seen his video yet, make sure you check it out. It doesn't include this part, but when we first got her in the water, we was trying to let her fill up with water, get water in her to make her less buoyant. We didn't realize that she was half full of styrofoam. So you would have seen us. We took her out and we tied her off to one of the big concrete yard lines that's down by the training platform. We tied her off and we started ratcheting her down. Well, we noticed we had a problem when it was picking that concrete line up. This thing weighs like 500-600 pounds, and it's picking this line up off of the bottom. We're like, whoa, something's wrong. Yeah. We spent the next 4 hours cutting a hole in the belly and digging styrofoam out. We got 4 55-gallon trash bags of styrofoam out of this shark. And then after that, we was able to sink her. So, Mr. Matt says whale farts. Well, humpback whales, I mean, we didn't say talking or, yeah, okay. We didn't say.
Just don't get too close when it ain't the fart.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Brian says, watching the video right now, very cool. Oh, yeah. There's some awesome videos of the park. This is season number 29. So, there's a ton of YouTube videos of the park, not just of the shark, but, ones that different divers have shot. And we actually have some of those on our media gallery page on our website. So you can go to it if you want to see just specific of the quarry. There's photos, there's YouTube videos. It's pretty cool. Sean says we did surgery for half the day. So this shark that we had planned on, it was going to take, she comes in, it's going to take probably 4 or 5 hours to get her out, get her sunk, get her in place. It's a 1-day job. Yeah, that 1-day job turned into 2 days. We had to stop, do surgery, then reconvene the next day for the sinking. And I think we lost some help on that second day. I think there was only, 3 of us? So if you guys have never intentionally sunk a large object, there's a lot of logistics that goes into it, especially when you're dealing with unknowns styrofoam that you don't know it's there.
Big burps, and all of a sudden you lose a container.
Oh, yeah. Sitting there, not floating nice and pretty, and then you start letting it down, and you burp, and then boom. Okay, it's there.
How many bursts did we take out the process?
Exactly. John says, I love that memory. It sucked that day, but looking back, it was so fun. And that's what it's all about. As long as everything's done in a safe manner, make sure everybody's safe when you're putting a big object like that in the water. Anything from, just runabout boats to the fire truck to the quarantainer. I've been involved in pretty much every one of them. The Blue Dolphin, for example, the cabin cruiser that's right off of the pavilions right in the corner. I rode that thing down to the bottom. I will never forget that day. I rode it to the bottom, and it started sinking faster than we had anticipated. So I literally had to, I was in this boat, and my gear was on the, not on the side of the boat, but it was inside with me, but I didn't have it on. And, we're sitting there trying to get it to go down nice and easy, and I figured, okay, once we get to a certain level, I'm going to put my gear on. Yeah, no, it went a whole lot quicker than we anticipated, and I had just enough time to get my gear on, but I didn't get my inflator hose to my dry suit hooked up. So when I got down to the bottom at 95 feet, I was like a shrink-wrapped sardine. It's like, oh, I can't move. But, yeah, so it's little things you learn when you're young like that. That's been, oh, Lord, almost 20 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, lots of fun stories. Let's see. It looks like Dad says, I'm leaving for now. So long. Have a good day. All right, Pops. We'll catch you later. All right, JoJo. I think I'm done telling stories for a second. Let's go ahead and look at our. Let's see. I don't even know where I'm pointing. There we go. What was the loudest ocean sound ever recorded? What was the loudest ocean sound ever recorded? Let's see. All right, I'm going to go back in the comments here real quick, guys, and just take a quick look before JoJo throws the answer out there.
We had humpback whales.
We had humpback whales. We had volcanic eruptions underwater. We had icebergs. We had bloop from icebergs in the 90s. We had me blowing my top when they got my order wrong. Let's see. Tim Walters changed his. Okay. The sound of new divers descending from the new dive entrance. Yeah, okay. Chris went off in Cozumel. All right, so we've had several great answers. You guys have done an awesome job at making your guesses on this. I mean, these are some really good guesses. JoJo, what was the loudest ocean sound ever recorded?
All right, so we had somebody who was probably on the Google machine looking it up. But in 1997, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration recorded a sound up to 3,000 miles away. They called it the bloop.
The bloop for the winner.
This was a pretty much, it took about 15 years for NOAA to really figure out what it was. But it was a seismic activity caused by the breaking of frozen ground. So pretty much a frozen earthquake.
Jeff says he used Google, by the way. So, but it wasn't an iceberg. It was frozen earth, frozen ground.
Yeah, they called it an icequake.
An icequake. So, you know, like I said, we had a ton of really good answers tonight. I mean, I would have never guessed an icequake. I would have had to, you know, been in there like an earthquake or, you know, a volcanic eruption. Yeah, I would have never guessed that.
Well, could also be when things were recorded too. That just happens to be the one we got on record.
Well, that's true. And of course, you know, the distance, you know, 3,000 miles away. I mean, you know, that's a long way. That's a really long way.
Let's use a Google machine to figure out how far across the Atlantic is.
Well, and that's what I was saying. It'd be real interesting to. And my mic sounds funky, but it would be really interesting to see how or where it originated or where they think it originated and where the sensor is or was that recorded it. Just to, you know, kind of get an idea, you know, being able to see it on a map, because 3,000 miles is a long way.
Yeah, that is a long way. That would be, I could travel pretty much the tip of Florida and back, and then back down. Pretty much to Miami, back up, and then back to Miami.
All right, so let's just see here. I'm just curious. Okay, so just to kind of give you an aspect of how far 3,000 miles really is, I just Googled the distance from coast to coast. So from East Coast to West Coast. It's approximately 2,500 to 3,500 miles, depending on your route. So imagine going from one side of the country to the other side of the country. And, you know, that's kind of a, you know, an eyeball range per se. How far that sound traveled, where it originated to where it was picked up. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, Matt, I was, you know, when he told me what it was, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. You know, an ice quake. I'd never heard of an ice quake. Of course, I'm not a big ice fan myself. I like iced tea, but unsweet iced tea, by the way. But yeah, let's see, Mr. Sean. An earthquake makes sense in the Virgin Islands. We still earthquakes. You feel on ocean. Okay, I know. I yeah. Okay. Sea ice thunder. All right, guys. Well, I tell you what, you know, it's been really fun tonight. I know we've had several people on watching. Guys, I want to thank you all for tuning in, putting up with mine and JoJo's shenanigans. Of course, you know, we try to give you a little bit of, you know, useful scuba knowledge, you know, like get your gear serviced, you know, make sure you're ready for the season, you know, and talk about different scuba stories, you know, so, you know, it's just one of those things we like to kick in here and, you know, get together with you guys. And I know at one time, I think we had like 20 viewers. So, you know, I'm ecstatic about that. I'm happy. You know, it's a really good show tonight.
Yeah, I seen it constantly at 16. I was like, wow. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, I don't expect to have, you know, thousands of people watching, but, you know, I do know people watch it after this, you know, after we're done live. You know, people pull up episodes, you know, of past, and it's pretty cool. I went back, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago, went back and like started watching some of the older ones, like before JoJo joined me on here, and, you know, it's definitely came a long way. Of course, this is year number 3 for it. So, you know, I'm excited that we've been doing this for 3 years. You know, we started it during the pandemic as a way to just, stay involved with scuba, even though we wasn't able to dive or, go travel and go diving. We were able to, still keep connected and talk. And even when everything started opening back up, it's just like, hey, let's just keep this going. It good momentum. So we enjoy doing it. I know I do. JoJo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why else would I sleep deprive myself?
Well, anybody who, you eat, think, sleep, and talk scuba. So, I mean, I try to, but I don't really sleep scuba anymore. I eat and breathe it, and sometimes
You
drink
work it.
Yeah, I work it. I work it. Sean says, sorry, driving a boat. Well, don't you know you're not supposed to be texting and driving, Sean? Or texting and is it texting and driving or texting and diving? Mr. Matt says I'm finally gonna dive this summer when it's warm. Well, awesome. We certified Matt several years ago, and I'm really glad to see him getting back into diving. I just I understand life happens, things come up, and people kind of have to drop diving for a little bit. I mean, I get it. I'm lucky, and I can knock on wood and say, I've made at least, I'm going to say at least 20 dives a year since I've been certified. Of course, the last 28 years have been a whole lot more than that, but, I'm not going to say exactly how long I've been diving. So maybe that needs to be next week's. When did I get my certification? I don't think I've actually put that out there. I think, well, maybe I have. I don't know. Let's see here. Huh?
When did Patty come in business?
When did Patty come in? But no. That's Dad. That's Dad.
He was before Patty was around.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think he was doing it when Jacques was still in diapers. I don't know. Actually, I think the story that we've always told was he was doing it before Moses parted the Red Sea. He went down and opened the valve. But anyway, Tim Walter says worthless information. The length of the equator around the Earth is 24,901 miles. Okay, so if you fly all the way around the world on the equator, you have traveled almost 25,000 miles. Man, wonder how long that would take.
Better have a good airplane ticket.
Yeah. Where's Brian Scooter at? We'll give it a test. Goodness. JoJo, you got any final thoughts for us for tonight?
Oh, it's been way too long I got to get down there. Stoked that my project's finally finished up. Planning on being down there this weekend. So
if you guys didn't know, JoJo is actually drying out. I mean, he's actually started dry rotting. Oh, goodness. Let's see.
I heard we need to start brushing some stuff off, so I need to get in the water.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Never hurts to dust stuff off a little bit, Yeah. So let's see. Sean says Pontoon Saloon, discount local code local 10. Okay. I'm assuming he's talking about Nashville. I'm not 100% sure, but I hope so. Asked to ride with Captain Sean Sparrow, the only captain that can legit fly the pirate flag. Oh, goodness. All right, guys. Well, like I said a while ago, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in with us, hanging out with us on your, Monday afternoon, Monday evening. Enjoy talking scuba. I mean, these trivia questions, we get, some of them are off the wall, some of them are easy. So, that's something, we kind of started new this year, probably 5 or 6 episodes ago, throwing them out there. We tested them last year and had a pretty good response. And so we decided to kick that up until the end of our Monday night season, which will be the last episode is the Monday before Memorial Day. And we're going to be taking 3 months off because I'll be honest, I'm tired all summer. I get off Monday afternoon and Tuesday's my only day off. So we're going to take a little bit of time to kind of revamp things a little bit, get new pictures of JoJo somewhere. If we can ever catch him in the water. But
Ron's got plenty of me from Florida. He'll be glad to show how screwed up I am.
Oh, goodness. But anyway, appreciate you guys. As always, thanks for hanging out with us on your Monday night. It's always a pleasure to be able to sit here and chit-chat with you guys and JoJo and all of that. Kind of makes the week go by a little faster for me because once I go to bed, like after tonight, it just seems like the weekend's here. So it's like, I don't know if it's just me or I don't know.
Just you. The rest of us got to work.
Probably. You're probably right. Hey, I got to work tomorrow. Don't go there.
Dive resort.
I got divers
You
coming
will be tomorrow. You will be there tomorrow.
I know. I will be. Yeah, I'll be there with bells on. But anyway, yeah, I done lost track of where I was going, but that's okay. So anyway, if you guys are diving this weekend, I'll get it out right in a minute. If you guys are diving this weekend, we hope you guys have a fun, safe, and wonderful diving experience. If you're diving with us, even better. We can't wait to see you guys. So until next Monday night, JoJo, I'll catch you on the flip side right here, Monday Night Safety Stop, and our YouTube channel. And, okay. Maybe. JoJo, it's not working.
You forgot to hit the off button.
No, it's saying I've got a minute left. I got it saying you got a minute left. You can't leave yet.
Now his timing's off again.
Hey, we got the intro. We're good. All right. So we was here on time.
Now that last minute, it's just going to end. Blank screen.
Yeah, it's just gonna beep. I'm done. Sorry. All right, guys. We'll catch you all here next Monday night. Monday Night Safety Stop, Penny Royal Divers Group. Y'all have a safe and wonderful week.
Have you ever stopped to think about what is in the water that your feet are sitting in between dives? Or worse yet, what you're handling with your hands when dumping the water from your boots in between dives? The Econa Seeker boot eliminates that concern and the need to remove your boots at all. Thanks to a unique footbed with micro holes and a rubber sole with channels, excess water naturally drains from these boots while you wear them. Don't waste time between dives worrying about what is inside your boots, and don't trouble yourself or others by removing your boots. To get your pair of Seeker boots, visit your local Econa dealer today.